The 3.5 year journey of me trying to become the best dunker I can be has been pretty successful, especially off lobs. And from March of 2020 all the way to September of 2023, part one of the dunk journey is complete. It's been an amazing 3.5 years trying to be the best dunker I can be, from not being able to dunk on 9.6 and barely touching the rim to dunking 10 foot off lobs pretty easily. And yeah, let's just get on with it with the story and how I made the decision I wanted to become a dunker and my dream before dunking. So, a little bit about me. My name is John Colin Askew, and my passion is to be athletic. I love being fast. I love jumping high. At first, I wanted to be as fast as possible. I've always wanted to play football, like flag football, tackle football, outrun people, and score on people. That was just like super fun. And I also played tackle football junior and senior year of high school. My first dream ever was to score a touchdown in varsity football, and that's all I wanted to do. I was always that quiet, shy kid in high school, and I wanted to show them what I could do. So I joined the football team 2018, summer of 2018, and then played for a couple years. I came so close to achieving my goal, very close. The quarterback overthrew me by about maybe 5 to 10 yards, but you just got to go for your dream. Like even if you're running out of time, like it's better to go for it than to not go for it. Do not be scared to chase after your dreams, guys. So after football ended, I am thinking like, what should I do now? Like there's got to be something. I didn't know I was going to run track in college. I was thinking I got to come up with something, like since I can't do anything else really. I don't have a scholarship to anything or any like sports really. So that's when I decided, what if I can dunk? December 2019, this random thought in my head just popped up in my mind, and I just said, one day I'm going to dunk. Just one day. I knew how much I had in me. I think the first time I touched rim, I think when I was senior year of high school, when I was playing football, we were doing our like senior dance practice for like a pep rally, and after we finished, I had so much adrenaline. We were doing this in the gym, by the way. So I had so much adrenaline that I touched the rim about right here, 10 foot rim, high school rim, legit 10 foot. Barely got it like right here. So that was probably like a 27.5, 28, 29 inch vert, I think. So yeah, that it felt like a really good jump day too. So, and I think I also had really bad technique as well. So that also helped increase my vertical. So yeah, I was still in high school, January and February of 2020, just trying to get through my senior year. And I was still having these thoughts in my head that one day I'm gonna dunk, but I wasn't like too serious about it yet. But I was still thinking about it, and I was touching rim like daily, and or sometimes when I go to my brother's basketball games, I would just like touch rim after the game ended. So then once COVID hit, I think March 11, 2020, half day of school, we all left. Everything got canceled. We didn't know if schools were going to open back up or not, and there was absolutely nothing to do. Nothing to do. I couldn't even go to a gym. I couldn't lift any weights. I was dying to go to a gym because everything was closed. March of 2020, like once COVID hit, I was like, yes, one day I'm gonna dunk. So that's when I got like super serious and said that one day I was going to dunk. And after I said that, the rest was history. I became a dunker, and it means so much to me. It really does. Before I talk about my story, um, track has been holding me back for a few years. So I would like increase my vertical, then my vertical would go down during track season, then or it would just be like maintained, and then it would go back up like over the summer, then it would go back down and up and down. So I've been dealing with that. So that's why I decided to stop dunk training. But I would dunk sometimes just to like enjoy myself and dunk 10 foot a little bit. And but right now I'm gonna do some low rim dunking for track season during track season, so I don't overdo it, and so I can practice my windmill technique and everything. So that's what's going on with me right now. So let's get on with the story. It's going to be a lot of explaining. Hopefully I can remember everything on the top of my head. All right, so now for the story of my entire dunk journey. I'll try to explain it as much detail as I can. So starting March of 2020. So I think my very first ever serious dunk session was March 19th of 2020. So I guess I can say that's like my day one type day. So my family and I went to Pensacola, Florida. Um, I actually saw a basketball court there, and I'm thinking I want to try to dunk on it. I want to see what I got in me. I didn't have a basketball, so I bought this little mini ball from a store, and I was trying to dunk on this rim. I thought it was 10 feet at first, but then I realized like it was actually low, so it was probably like 9.8 or 9.9 or something. And I tried to dunk on it, but it wasn't the best technique, but it was decent. I didn't get a back rim or anything, and yeah, I had no chance of dunking 10 foot. After that session and after leaving Florida, I say, okay, like I'm gonna get serious. Like I'm gonna improve and I'm gonna get better at what I got to do. So what I would do is I would go to my back porch every night. I don't know why. I think I just like doing workouts at night because that's when I feel the most adrenaline rush. And I would go outside. I would do tug jumps. For some reason, just random workouts. I don't know if I saw it on a YouTube video or something. So I was doing like tug jumps, maybe like 4 to 5 sets of 30 to 50 tug jumps, I guess. And I was doing like single leg, glutes, bridges, like going up and down. And I think I did another exercise, but I forgot what that was. I don't know. I just picked 3 random exercises to do, and I stayed very consistent with it. I did it for 20 straight days, and I think I was jumping like almost every single day, maybe like a couple rest days in between, like 4 or 5 straight jump days, trying to dunk on my 9.5.5 basketball rim or 9'6" or something, but I think it was like 9.5.5. It took me about 20 days to dunk on it. I got close several times. I did not want to give up. I kept missing and missing and missing, and then I got it. First ever 9.5.5 dunk off the dribble. Um, and then after that, I was like, I want to try to dunk 10 foot right now. I went from barely dunking 9.5.5 to saying, I want to try to dunk 10 foot. I mean, since I did off the dribble, maybe I can barely squeeze in one off a lob. So I go to 10 foot, and I think this was around April of 2020 when I tried to dunk 10 foot. I never even got a single back rim at all. I tried to throw off the backboard. I had my brother throw up tosses for me, and I was still not really getting that close. My knee pain started creeping in very gradually. It started to get kind of bad. So what I would do, how I would treat it is I sit, rest for 2 to 3 days, and then I would go back to jumping, which is not the best for your tendons. It was pretty stupid of me, but we all live and learn. While I was trying to get my first dunk, I got a scholarship to run track in college. I was training with a coach once per week. I know that training once per week for track is not going to really help with much improvement, but it was like so expensive. It was probably like 30 something dollars like a session a week. So I was like, there's no way I can spend $90 a week on, working out. So I work out with this dude once a week. Like that was my only like weightlifting days, but I was pushing through a lot of pain, a lot of knee pain doing the track workout once a week while doing all this jumping and pushing through pain. My knee pain was like at a 6, 8 out of 10 one time, and it was hurting pretty bad. And somehow I just pushed through it. I was even scared to tell people like my knee hurts, even telling coach my knee hurts because I thought people would get mad at me for stuff for having a hurt knee. My jumper's knee was actually getting worse gradually. It was never getting better. It was never getting stronger. I was never loading properly. I was never gradually, slowly ramping up so my tendon can heal. But so I kept jumping, hurt my knee, rest, jump, hurt my knee, rest. And then I think this was around maybe June or July of 2020. I can't remember. I would always go to this basketball court, this 10-foot hoop. I can dunk on it now, which is amazing. Feels amazing that I got revenge on that rim after getting injured pretty bad on that court. But well, not really a serious injury, but like my worst jumper's knee feeling yet happened on this court. So what I did was I warmed up and I was testing my knee pain, my right knee. It was always my right knee because I'm a right-left jumper. So I was warming up and I was doing a knee pain test and I was feeling like a 3 or 4 out of 10 pain. It might have been a 3 out of 10 pain. So after I felt pretty good and I felt pretty bouncy. I had a tennis ball in my hand. That's the only thing I could dunk on 10 foot was a tennis ball. My technique got pretty good. I was adding more speed into my jump and I was feeling pretty good with my technique. So I was jumping higher because of that, because of practicing technique and jumping a lot. So that's what I was like doing to jump higher and it was working. So after one jump, just one jump, I dunked the tennis ball clean on 10 foot, landed, and I was on the ground after. The pain was so bad on my right knee. It went from a 3 out of 10 to like a 9 or 10 out of 10 real quick. I couldn't even do, like, if I were to do this, like that, it was super painful. And just doing this, I couldn't really do this either without pain. It was so bad. Yeah, that was my worst jumper's knee yet. I'll never forget that. So I walked back to my car. I was limping pretty bad, and I did the same thing. I was just like, okay, my knee is just not healing. Maybe I'm not resting long enough. So I just continued to rest. But surprisingly, I jumped 2 weeks later after that injury, and I was jumping just fine. Maybe with like a 2 or 3 out of 10 pain in my knee, and it didn't get worse somehow. I don't know, but I did learn about load management later, and I used that, and I was able to cure my knees. Probably not perfect load management. I got some advice from doing research and all that, and my knees have been doing pretty good. So I've been getting some, minor flare-ups, you know, every now and then. But thanks to load management, I have less knee pain. So very glad. So that's my knee pain story. Now let's get back to the dunking story. I got the scholarship to run track, and I start doing track workouts throughout fall. And then after the track workouts, I got stronger and I was jumping higher. So I got my first ever back rim in late November of 2020. I was about to lose it. If I were to make if I were to make a dunk that day, I would have screamed. I would have gone crazy. So instead, I just kept back rimming, and I was hoping I would just get that perfect toss, and I just kept missing and couldn't get it. It felt my knee pain. It was manageable. It was under control, but the pain was always there though. I wasn't still doing proper load management. The weights, just doing lifting, but without the load management, that can help jumper's knee a little bit, but it's not the best. Like regular training can sort of help, but not really. So that's why my tendon pain was probably able to hold off when I got my first dunk. So thank goodness. So a few days later, December 1st, 2020, I got my first dunk inside a gym. So I think I was jumping higher, because it's inside and legit 10-foot rim, and I was super, super happy with it, man. It it was a dream come true, and it's something that I've dreamed of, ever since March of 2020, and got it 257 days later, and AKA 8.5 months. So that was amazing. So after I hit my first dunk, I was still doing some track training. I actually didn't really care about like doing research for how to jump higher and like what like workouts to do for that. All I cared about was just like relying on track workouts and um knowing that that's going to help me jump higher. It did help me jump higher. So I was kind of relying on that and not really like my own research and stuff. So all I was focused on was jumping. I was still doing track workouts once a week with my other coach that I would train with during the off season. So I would do that with him once a week in December. And then I got my second dunk December 18th, 2020. Took a lot of tries, took like 30 tries like the last one did on for my first dunks. During track season, I would get some nagging knee pain every now and then. One time it was really bad. Like during track season, my knee pain was bad, but I was able to get it down quickly to where I can handle running. So luckily, tendons can handle sprinting more than jumping, because jumping is the most amount of force that you can place on a tendon. So, but I was able to manage my tendon pain pretty well with running, but not really with jumping during track season. So I kind of jumped a lot less, but somehow my vertical was maintained pretty well during my freshman year running tracks. I wasn't able to dunk off the dribble though. I was only dunking like off lobs, like two hands and barely with one hand, and some good days, some bad days. I still wasn't really training in the weight room for it. I was kind of relying on like jumping a lot and relying on working out with my track coach, my off-season track coach once per week. And I don't think my vert really improved that much over the summer. So going into the fall, I start working out with the strength and conditioning coach again, and his workouts had a lot of variety. And the workouts were so good that like I wasn't able to dunk like during the fall because like I was so fatigued from the workouts. And I think one workout we did like hold on. So this one workout when you put your leg here and you would have a barbell here about 50-55% of your max, and you would squat down here and squat up. We would do a normal one of those, and then another variety is that we would go slow, slow, and then explode up, and then another one we would go down, hold it to an isometric for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then explode up. So So that's just one of the I can't remember every single workout, but I think that workout helped my vertical somehow. I don't know because I was pretty fatigued after doing those workouts, and um, after November or like in the beginning of December, I felt my vert going up, and I was like touching brim really easily. I was like, whoa! I was like, whoa! I think my vert's skyrocketing now, and then so I didn't really like do any like deload type thing. I just like rested. That's all I did. And then I think like a week later, I jumped my highest ever, December of 2021, highest jump days ever, two hand reverse. I start dunking two hands a lot more consistently. I wasn't really a one hand dunker because it was hard for me to catch the ball with one hand and dunk it like that. So that's why I was a two hand dunker because it's easier to get the ball to put it in. And that was the most consistent dunks that was the most consistent I've ever been in my life, and I was just blown away by the track workouts that the strength and conditioning coach like I was even running, like I was also doing running, um getting ready for track season. My vert still goes up, so I think his workouts are pretty good, I guess. Again, I was not relying on weight room training to get my vert up. All I was doing this winter was jumping, so I kept jumping. We even went to a trip to North Carolina, and I was having so much fun dunking on the rim. And I even dunked on 10-foot one, kind of squeezed it in, and I think I still count that. That's my PR 10-1 with two hands, self bounce. Outdoors, that's crazy. So I think indoors, I would definitely probably get like 10-2 indoors, probably, but 10-1 official PR. Um, so December is about to end. I can feel my vert going down a little bit. I don't know if that jump day was either my vert's going down or it's a bad jump day, but maybe my vert was going down because I wasn't weight training for it. So if you don't weight train for your vertical, and you do just jumping, it's not going to increase. It's going to go down because you're going to run into a plateau if you do just jumping. So I think that's why my jump, kind of stayed the same. It's the weight room training and all the variety that helps you jump higher. So, but if you're a beginner, jumping can help you jump higher, but eventually you're going to have to add in a lot more stuff so you can keep improving over time. So, but yeah, I think that's why my vertical didn't go up over the winter. Um, so track season arrives and coach switches me up to a 400-meter runner, and my vertical just absolutely plummet. So I went from a two-hand dunker to barely dunking a tennis ball on 10 foot. Like one time my legs were hurting. Like my legs were so fatigued that I was just hurting really, really bad. And well, not like pain, not like injury, just like so fatigued I could just feel it all around my legs, and I just felt no explosion at all. And the only time I would feel like mostly recovered was during track meets, and then the next day, after track meets, I would try to dunk 10 foot and I'm just not able to. Summer comes back, and my vertical, yeah, it was pretty down. It was really, really bad. But then, like, my vertical starts coming back a little bit. Then I start to rely on the weight training because the weight training, like the last 2 years, fall of 2020 and December, like fall of 2020 helped me get my first dunk, and fall of 2021 helped me get the two hand reverse, the two hand dunks, and everything. And it was just like living in heaven, just like a dream. Um, so that's when I start to rely on weight training. I didn't really know much about periodization. I didn't know much about um, strength, power, hypertrophy, elasticity. I didn't know about any of that stuff. So I was doing like power cleans, back squats, all these basic workouts. And I think I was also doing some knees over toes guy workouts because like I said, I would get some nagging knee pains every now and then. So I was like, man, like this knee pain, I just keep getting nagging knee pains. Like I didn't know that like it can be manageable. I didn't even know what manageable means like for knee pain. I didn't know like any of that stuff. So I joined THP for about a month and it taught me stuff. So now I kind of know what's going on. So I joined it for a month, stopped because I got fall track workouts again. But I was jumping I jumped a little bit higher, but not as high as my highest jump days. I kind of squeezed in, not really that clean, 9:10.5 off the dribble with 2 steps. That was like probably my best dribble attempt like in a while. So, and I was dunking decent off lobs on some days, but wasn't really jumping my highest. And I didn't really know what to do to get my vertical back. I thought that I was going to have the same strength and conditioning coach, but then we switched up coaches. So for some dumb reason, our track team did not like our strength and conditioning coach, so we switched it. It doesn't have as much variety um, for jumping higher. And what I was doing was I was also trying to jump and do track workouts at the same time, and it was extremely tough. And so after getting through the fall workouts and doing some running, I was not jumping as high as I would liked. I was hoping I would get back to where I was in December of 2021, but I just was not able to jump as high. I also tested my vertical before December of 2022, and I end up touching 10.7 and a half. So, yeah, I think December 2021, I definitely would have touched higher. Probably would have got 10.9, 10.10 maybe. I don't know, but I can't wait to officially test my vert once I start jumping high again. After I jumped really bad, December 2022, I'm like, all right, so it's time to get back into track season and see what I can do. I can kind of feel my vert going up a little bit since my vert was so low, and I actually decided to switch to a left-hand dunker. I was having so much trouble going up with my right hand for one-hand dunks that I decided to switch to my left hand, and I was feeling like I was getting higher with it. So I start dunking with my left hand off lobs, and it felt pretty good. I was still barely dunking though, wasn't jumping as high, but I start to feel my vert going up a little bit during track season for some reason. But I think that this session at church was after um, indoor season ended. I think one workout we were doing was quarter squats, so maybe that somehow skyrocketed my vert during track season. During indoor season, I was doing 400s like almost every meet. That's crazy. Like track is supposed to not increase your vertical. What the heck is going on? So on my birthday, on my 22nd birthday, 22 right now, by the way, turning 23 next March. My birthday, March 3rd, 2023, I hit my second ever reverse dunk, and I just went absolutely crazy because I did not expect that at all, and got some good one-handers, and yeah, that popped out of nowhere. I don't know what that was. I think it was the quarter squats. I don't know. After that session, I was super happy that I still had that reverse in the bag. The rim was like 9, 11 point something, I don't know, but so I get through outdoor season and my vert goes down again. I wasn't able to reverse. So now we are approaching summer of 2023. I'm about to jump my highest ever. I'm about to because I did some research on workouts and stuff, and I've been doing a bunch of THP YouTube research, so that's really helped me get my vert up. While I was doing power cleans, hip thrust, back squats, Smith machine calf raises, um, let's see, seated calf raises and all that kind of stuff, and using periodization and going from like, sort of high volume to, doing some max outs to high intensity stuff. I jumped my highest ever. I went absolutely crazy, smashing one-handers on 10 foot, smashing two-handers on 10 foot, just throwing it down and hitting some reverses. I think I hit like 2 or 3 reverses that summer, even on fatigue days. And yeah, that was amazing. So after I think that session right here, that session was definitely my highest session yet. That was unbelievable that I went from barely dunking to going crazy in just 2 months. So I have a lot of potential in me. I know I do. I just gotta have time to put in the work. I just gotta get through with track first and then put in 6 months to a year of weight room training using periodization, and then I can go crazy. So after my highest jump day ever, I start to just, well, even before my highest jump day ever, I was starting to feel some lower back pain. I think this was from all the weight that I was catching on power cleans. So I think that was putting little bits of load on the spine each time. And I was told to not drop the weight in the gym. That's why I would catch it. So I thought it was fine, but it was not fine. Next time I power clean, I'm going to make sure I drop the weight. But my back pain started to get a little bit bad. I thought that I could manage it well. So my next jump day, after my highest jump day, I decided that I wanted to test my vert. I wanted to see where I was at, but it did not really go too well because my back pain was there. Like even before warm-ups, I was feeling like kind of a burn pain. I don't know if it was really sharp. I think it was like a sharp pain if I do like test my back pain, but it was more of like a really burn like type pain. I test my vert and I touched 10.7.5 outdoors on concrete with a hurt back, and that actually made my back worse. And I'm just like, man, like this back pain is starting to creep in a little bit. I'm not sure what to do. Hopefully it'll go away in 2 weeks. This is when I first ever discovered back pain. I was doing some back pain research on other athletes and how long it would last on them. I think for some pro dunkers like Isaiah Rivera, like his back pain lasted for like 6-ish months, and he was just doing front squatting. And I was doing like research on Travis. His back pain was there for like 7 months, and I'm like, man, like my back could get bad. But I thought my back wasn't that bad. I thought it could heal in like 2 weeks or something, but that's not the case. Um, I did another jump session in Florida, but which, by the way, was the same court where I had my session in March of 2020. So it felt really good to get revenge on that court. And even though I was jumping through back pain, I was jumping very light. I still got two hands on 9.9, got the one-handers down. This was the rim on the other side. I'm pretty sure that both rims on each court were the same height, but the rim when I was trying to dunk on, it lowered. So I wasn't able to get like um, revenge on it, but like at least I dunked on the high one on the other side to make that legit. So pretty happy with that. But my back pain, it was I managed that pretty well during that session, and then my next session back home, I have a pretty bad jump day, and I was only able to get like maybe a few 10-foot dunks, and that's when my back pain got bad a little bit. Um, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to stop max jumping for a while. What I start doing is I start progressing. I start doing McGill Big Three. I start doing like hip stretches and some calf raises and very, very light front squats. I wanted to make sure that I wanted to still get some, maintain my strength or just maintain stuff. And this was right before getting back into track workouts, and I'm like, oh boy, my back better be able to handle this load for track. So I get back into track. My back was still injured. I'm lucky that I'm able to do what weights I want. So I was able to progress to the point where my back was able to handle regular power cleans again. But while my back was still injured, I think September of 2023, I said, okay, this is too much on the body. My back is injured right now, and my hamstrings. I've had 7 hamstring strains in my life, all from sprinting, all from track. And I said, all this jumping, it's increasing risk of injury. So I decided to cut the intensity down by a lot on jumping. And it's a little bit sad, but it's what's best for my body right now. So just got to push through track season. And what I'm doing right now is I'm very lucky to have this church. We got some low rims in here that are adjustable. So I'm able to do some like 9-foot windmills and low rim stuff, and it's a blessing. So I can be able to practice my trick dunks in here and stuff. Anyways, I'm kind of losing my voice a little bit, so I'm almost done here. Super blessing dunk journey, the 3-year journey from not being able to dunk on 9.6 to dunking on 10 feet. So that's pretty wild. My back pain is doing good now. If I were to like overdo it right now, my back would just like ache a little bit, but it's very manageable right now, and I'm still learning about my body. Um, after I get through this track season, which is 4 months until it's done, I will get back in the weight room and get my vertical back and then some. And the goal is to hit my first windmill on 10 feet. That's the goal, man. So that's why I'm doing this like 9 foot, 8 foot and a half, 8 foot windmill practice during track season so I can be ready for it when I'm jumping high enough to dunk 10 foot. Yeah, that's the dunk journey. I hope to inspire y'all. Doing everything I can. It's unbelievable that I ran track for 3 years, doing track workouts and trying to jump higher at the same time. That was not easy to do. That was very, very tough. And I'm looking forward to doing just the dunk life. And I'll be 23 years old, something like that when I'm done. So, and I got plenty of time to improve. I just got one more track season and I'm done. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.